Hey guys, just wanted to do a review on my 2019 John Deere 3032E. Took me a few months to decide on what model tractor I wanted, but I ended up going with this one. I previously had a John Deere 2210. That tractor is, I want to say, 23 horsepower. About 18 at the PTO. This one obviously being 32 at the motor and roughly 26, 27, I believe, at the rear PTO. But yeah, just wanted to do a good walkthrough, kind of go over it a little bit. Nothing too in detail, but just give guys a good idea of what it is and how I've been using it and what it's been done, what's done well for me. Not too many videos on the newer generation of the E series, so it'd be cool to go through this one and hopefully help some people out. So this is actually my King Cutter 72-inch finish mower. I just got done mowing my swale in the back and maybe about 2 acres, and it does a phenomenal job. It is an older model, but I love it. It does perfect behind this 32 horse John Deere. So as you all may or may not know, the E series is somewhat of a basic tractor, which I kind of wanted, because coming from my 2210, the 2210 is a basic tractor. It doesn't have the suspension seat. The controls aren't what you'd call ergonomic. They work, but they could be better, I suppose, like on the R series. Hydrostatic, just simple, get on it and go. This tractor does have a cast iron midsection. It does have an aluminum rear differential. Some guys give it a bad rap, but I don't know. Never heard of anyone having any issues with it. This one, I think you can put a backhoe on. The early generation 3032s you could not. I believe John Deere has improved on this design to where you can. It does have the drawbar attachment as well down in there, but yeah, it's a great machine. Controls are simple and efficient. PTO engagement, whole storage. There is a compartment on that side, nothing too big, but something to put a few, gloves in, or safety glasses. Dash is very simple. Throttle control, forward and reverse, rear hydraulic lift, and it has a little lock so you can set your height very easily. Key is probably in the worst position you can possibly think of. A lot of guys break the keys off, so I'm pretty conscious of that. It hasn't happened yet, but we'll see. Parking brake, seat slide, 2-speed, hydrostatic trans, high and low, neutral in the middle. Works well. I very rarely put it in high. Maybe just a transport. I go down the street to a friend's house. We do some work with it down there, but besides that, I'm in low. Low has a lot of torque and gets going pretty good. This tractor is actually from Goodworks Tractors in Kalamazoo, Michigan. If you guys are looking for some really nice, gently used machines, he carries mainly Kubota and John Deere. He does do implements, grapples, snow blades, a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, check him out. He's a good guy. Courtney over there treated me very well, and was very happy to go through the purchasing experience with him. I get underneath this thing a little bit. Everything's pretty much tucked up and away. This is a fuel filter that is tucked up behind the axle just fine. The front axle pivots in the center, articulates extremely well. Steering is all behind the front axle. Just very, I think, pretty well thought out. That lowest point back here is that drawbar. It is removable. I do use it from time to time, so I leave it on there, but it can very easily be removed. But yeah, I like it. The 2210, I ended up having an issue. It is a hydrostatic, and it has a fan to cool the hydrostatic, the rear hydraulics, and I was doing some clearing back here. I got a few acres and just kind of been clearing some brush, and I was actually making this out. And this was all just kind of overgrown, and I was driving the 2210 back in there, and with we got a landscape rake and back blade and stuff. So I was back in there and ended up sucking a stick up, and it ended up shearing the fan off for the rear hydraulics. So if any of you are familiar with that tractor, you gotta pull the whole rear tub off and just to change a little fan. So I kind of wanted something a little bit more hydraulics, hydraulic capacity. I wanted something with a little more weight to it. I do end up using the finish mower in my property back here, and then up by the house I have a 0-turn, so I didn't need the tractor to be cutting up by the house. So I figured why not upgrade the 0-turn and upgrade the tractor as well. So I went up that route. The 2210 is a phenomenal tractor, though. I will say I put about 550 hours on it in a few years, about 4 years or so, and it was a great tractor. I will miss it because it is a little bit smaller, the size, 4-wheel drive. It does have the quick detach bucket. This one being an E model, everything is mounted fixed. The bucket can be taken off with the pins. I don't even have a pin right now, it's just in transport, but very easy to take the bucket off. I do have the heavy hitch tooth bar on here as well. Added that a few weeks ago and was able to do some digging, and it was a great addition. It comes off very easy. You can take it on and off. There's some set screws here, one at each point, and in about 2 minutes you can have it taken off, put it in the bed of your truck, do some, if you need to do some different type of bucket work, and then you can throw this back on and really do some damage. These teeth are interchangeable. Anyone looking for a tooth bar for their bucket, they make them for John Deere's, for Kubotas, for really anything. You tell them the width, they'll do the powder coating, whatever color, whether it's orange, green, or black. And very nice, useful addition to any bucket. Definitely made this tractor do quite a bit more in that aspect than it really could ever do with just the straight edge of the bucket, biting edge. So very happy with that. Heavy hitch. They're out of Minnesota, U.S. made. Good company. Check them out. It says the R4 tires, I believe they are. They do great. They don't tear the lawn up very much. I'm conscious about it, but they do great. Here's your hydraulic lines for your steering. Not too bad. I don't really, quite a bit of ground clearance underneath, so not too concerned about it. Obviously, it's easiest to get on and off from this side because of the loader joystick. A lot of guys say that joystick is kind of in a weird spot. I don't know. I don't really think it is. It's kind of, you're sitting on the thing. I mean, it doesn't have armrests, but it's right there. I mean, I guess the R's are here and this one's here. So I guess to each their own, but fine with me. Yeah, no, it's great. It is I'm gonna pop the hood here. You gotta take the key out. This is a Tier 4. So that means it has a diesel particulate filter. It does not have diesel exhaust fluid. That is the filter right there. Big monstrosity of a thing, but I was a little hesitant on going the route of the DPF, but I think they started putting them on in 2014. And I never really came across anyone having any issues with them. And I wanted the extra horsepower for driving this 72-inch finish mower. I plan on getting a 60-inch rotary cutter and a 60-inch rototiller. So I just think having the extra horsepower at the PTO would just be nice for the larger implements. John Deere does make an E-Series, a 3 E-Series in the 3025. This is obviously a 3032. Then there's the 3038, which is a turboed model. The 3025 does not have the DPF. I hear a lot of guys love those tractors. They're great. Literally identical to this, same hydraulic capacity. It just does not have the diesel particulate. But it has a lower horsepower. It's only doing about 18 at the rear PTO. So I would say 60-inch implements at the very max. And even then, it may or may not have problems with that. I just figured I'll try it out with the DPF, the Tier 4, and the trade-off was having the a little extra horsepower. I will say with the diesel particulate, the exhaust has a different smell, but it doesn't burn your eyes. It's being cleaner burning. I've kind of learned to actually like that in a way and put up with the diesel particulate because, like I said, when you're running the tractor, the exhaust comes out right here, usually bounces off that loader, and you're breathing a lot of it in. So yeah, it does not have the same effect as like my 2210 has, where when you're running it, it is burning your eyes. I mean, especially in the colder temperatures, if it's running really rich, things like that, until it warms up. But yeah, side panels come off very easy. It's quarter turn clips. Side panels, no tools required. Air cleaner is very simple to get to. Little Yanmar 3-cylinder, 1.6 liter. Does great. It's a common rail system. Starts right up every time. Warms up very quickly. It does have an EGR circulation or EGR system on it, so like I said, it does warm up quickly. The regens, they happen. The tractor's still kind of learning itself. I bought it with about 80 hours, 81 hours, and I think there's maybe about 105 or so on it. No, 108. So about 30 hours or so I've put on it, just shy of. It's done, since I've had it, it's done 2 regens. From what I've read, in the first 200 hours, the tractor is really kind of learning itself. And after 200 or 250 hours, the regens typically happen like every 35 to 40 hours, depending on use. If you're running a rear attachment or working the tractor heavily, you're going to generate a lot more heat in the motor, and it will automatically kind of keep the soot and particulate from building up in the filter itself. But these are serviceable. Literally, you take these bolts out, you remove the system, you take the bolts out, and there's a big filter canister in there. It doesn't seem too hard to get to, and there's actually a shop locally here that I talked to, and they would charge roughly $200 to actually clean the filter thoroughly. They bake it with a chemical, and then I can put it back in here and it would be good to go for another 1,000 or 2,000 hours. So I'm really honestly not too concerned about it. I think it'll, I think the trade-offs were kind of worth it, and having a new tractor with a warranty is always nice. So yeah, if you guys want to know anything more about it, please comment below. This is kind of the first one I've done about my tractor here, and it's been great so far. Definitely a lot more power than like a 1 or 2 series tractor. The size is very maneuverable. The loader capacity I'm very happy with. I mean, you do have to have ballast on the back, but it will move and lift most anything I really need to up to this point. I might do a quick fire up just to show everybody, and it's a good sounding tractor. I said not too loud. I always wear earplugs anyways, but that's your 540 RPM right there. So yeah, very happy with it. So if you guys have any questions, comments, want to see something else on it, want to see me do something with it, I said I got a few attachments here. I got the John Deere 60-inch back blade, this little county line 60-inch landscape rig, got my ballast box, got my king cutter. So I'm gonna keep acquiring things. I'll probably keep up some reviews as I go and acquire more things. I may even bring the 2210 back here, just kind of do a side-by-side, because that's one thing I think a lot of guys kind of question is price-wise. There's not a big difference between this 3E series and like a nice 1025R. So, you know, if you're going to spend that 18 to 20,000, you can I can see why you'd be in question of what do I need, what works best for me. So my 2210 is very similar to a newer 1 series. There has been improvements, don't get me wrong, but as far as size and capability, it's pretty close. So I may bring that back. Let me know if you guys want me to, and kind of do a side-by-side comparison with them, go through them a little bit more. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I have, and comment if you want to see anything more. Like, subscribe. I said I'm going to probably add some more. So I appreciate you guys chiming in, and have a good evening.